Hi, everyone. This is Zaina. I'm a clinical fellow at the GC Student Counseling Services. And this is a workshop that Dr. Vivi Hua and myself did in November on supporting international students in the cross-cultural adjustment process. And we wanted to make this workshop available for those of you who couldn't attend. And so we're going to be exploring a bit about the adjustment process of international students here, what we can go through, what to expect, and some skills that we can use to connect. So diving right in, um, early stages of adjustment for international students, especially when students first arrive, they may feel excitement, curiosity, hope, enthusiasm, just around everything that's new. And this can start even before the move or before being here in New York. This can be when you got accepted, when you got your visa, as you're packing. And so things that you expected to what you expected to do here, etc. So everything feels new. There's often energy around starting a new chapter. And so we call that the honeymoon phase. And soon after, some challenges may emerge, the reality can set in. Um, what we call the culture shock period. Some language barriers can come in, classroom expectations, sense of loneliness or uncertainty about fitting. And this is a normal part of the adjustment. So this could be like, I don't know, you're used to raising your hand in a classroom to participate, and now it's more spontaneous and it's more like people just like throwing ideas around, especially in smaller group settings. And so maybe the discomfort around that, noticing I'm not participating as much. So all of these things can feel very difficult and can be part of the culture shock. And over time, most students gradually adapt and gain confidence and then eventually develop a sense of mastery as we get to know the environment we're in, the neighborhood we live in. So this isn't just in a context of academic environment. This could be with roommates, the apartment I live in, using messages instead of WhatsApp, just all these different things that can come into play, and then adjusting more and more to it over time until we feel we've mastered it, whatever mastery looks for you or looks like to you. New culture and new identity for international students. So moving to a new country is not only about learning a new environment, it can also shift how we see ourselves. We may begin questioning values, habits, and identity while balancing old and new ways of living. Parts of my identity feel more true to me now than they did before, or less true to me, and noticing some shifts, and how do I balance that? At the same time, existing stressors can feel more intense when familiar supports are far away, right? So the support system that I usually have, or the cafe that I usually work in when I'm really stressed or when I really need to focus, no longer available to me. That can feel more distressing. So this process can also have this level of distress, but can also create very meaningful opportunities for growth, for self-advocacy, for self-discovery, and resilience. So using it as an opportunity to learn things about myself rather than just seeing it as a distressing piece of life. Um, Now, framework to personal growth. Every student's journey is different, and there's no single right way to adjust. Personality, coping styles, prior experiences, and support systems all influence the adaptation process. Some people thrive socially, while others need more time privately. A supportive academic environment can make a big difference in helping us feel more welcomed and successful, especially when we find that these are maybe at the beginning the only pockets of time or opportunity where I get to socialize and connect with people. So, um, and this can look differently for others, like adapting in different ways. Um, some might dress differently, some might speak differently, have certain accents. There's no one way to fit. And so just really using it as an opportunity to experiment in terms of your concept about yourself and how you understand and see yourself. Managing multiple identities. So many students learn to hold multiple identities at once. You can stay rooted in the culture what you come from while also learning new customs and skills. But this does not mean replacing who you are, it means expanding your identity. So the goal is to integrate, to keep what matters most to you while growing through those new experiences. Sharing your background, your journey, where you come from, what you like to do with others, introducing that part of yourself. Um, Staying connected to your heritage, traditions. I don't know. Maybe for me, it's going to Middle Eastern restaurant, and connecting to the food and the people and the culture there. And so, really importantly, is to blend and not replace. Just looking into what feels most meaningful and most connected to who you are and those parts of yourself. What feels most true to me? What am I noticing parts of my identity that are feeling less, that I'm less connected to or less important to me right now? Key skills for academic and social success in the US, and we'll go through these one by one, starting with building relationships. Why? To feel more connected. So, relationships are one of the strongest protective factors during adjustment. Friendships and connections help reduce the sense of isolation that we could be feeling, increase belonging, and provide emotional support. It could be a very isolating experience, especially when we move here and we don't have anyone around us. So, really, small things like saying hi, making small talk, joining clubs, attending campus events can lead to meaningful relationships over time. And building community often starts with small, consistent steps. So maybe the first few times you attend an event, you're really uncomfortable, you're really nervous, you feel awkward, you don't know how to engage. So over time, really building that, um, just so that we can learn how to do it. So look for opportunities to build these new friendships, how to nurture the friendships in a new environment. There's an importance of making new friends. Are you waiting till someone reaches out or are you initiating? A lot of people have a tendency to wait for people to reach out because maybe they're not sure if people will be accepting or, they're too busy. I know they have a lot on their plate. They're going to say no. So internal negative self-talk can really stop us from reaching out and connecting. And all these little segments of the socialization process is important to reconsider. And how is it helping you become more or less adjusted in the new environment and feeling more or less empowered in the new cultural context? Advocating for yourself, self-advocacy is an important skill in many academic and professional settings. Here, there's a culture of negotiation that's present in the US culture. And so, looking at what are the areas that you can negotiate in, being aware of your needs in an academic space and how to advocate for them. Um, so, knowing this needs a good level of self-awareness, expected and respected to be able to ask for your needs respectfully here and see if the professor can provide support, for example, like you want an extension on a paper, a deadline, because you know you're going to be away for a week. So can I get a few days extra? Can I get a week extra? And asking for needs is very different than a sense of entitlement, which sometimes some cultures. Saying no or asking for things can either feel like you're being entitled or you're coming off as weak or incompetent when asking for help does not mean those things. Um, Being proactive, so it means addressing issues before they become a crisis. It includes planning ahead, anticipating deadlines, seeking support early, thinking ahead. So students who take initiative often feel more in control and less overwhelmed. And that's not to say that you have to be on top of everything at all times and have everything together at all times. But proactivity can also include asking for feedback, finding mentors, identifying solutions when challenges arise, and having support when you have any struggles. So really just if there's any awareness that something is coming up, really going to, for example, a professor proactively and respectfully rather than waiting till last minute, right? Or maybe asking people who have been in the US a bit longer, who have been in your shoes before, if you can explore a new environment together. So all of these different things can be helpful and in a way proactive. Gaining visibility. Visibility matters because opportunities often come through relationships and recognition. Speaking up in class, participating in projects, engaging with professors can help others notice your strengths. Um, many of us remain unseen simply because we stay quiet. And so visibility is not about self-promotion per se. It is self-promoting, but it's about allowing your work and voice to be known. And this doesn't always have to be professionally. You're speaking up in class. It doesn't have to mean you're reading every article through and through for every class. It means that you're curious, you're engaging, you're asking questions, whether academic or personal or interests, including with friends, things you like to do, movies, books, whatever that is. Networking is often misunderstood as something only extroverts do. In reality, networking simply means building genuine professional relationships over time. It can happen through classmates, cohort mates, professors, alumni events, internships, or casual conversations, or even conferences that you attend. Following up and staying connected can open doors to mentorship, information, and future opportunities. It could be through email, it could be through an event, whatever feels more comfortable for you. So one-on-one, am I more comfortable than going to an event and talking to seven different people? Just really finding out what works for you best. And staying connected with where you come from. Adjusting to a new place does not require you to disconnect from home. Staying in touch with family, friends, the language, and traditions can provide comfort and stability. So regular calls, celebrating milestones, sharing experiences can help maintain these meaningful bonds. Maybe you feel like you're missing out on certain things. How can I join over a video call? It's normal to miss home while also building a life in a new place. Um, so especially when life gets busy and the days are long and there's a time difference, can I make sure I schedule a call, I don't know, on Sundays where I feel like I have a bit more time to call this friend that I'm really close to update each other on the things that we're doing. Um, and so, how can I stay connected without overwhelming myself, and not let go of those support systems that feel very meaningful to me? Healthy integration and building adaptive skills. The healthiest long-term outcome is often integrating rather than choosing one identity over another. So students can blend strengths from both cultures and create a fuller sense of self. This process involves reflection, flexibility, communication skills, problem-solving skills. Um, and so with time, many of us discover that we're more capable, adaptable, and multifaceted than we realize. Choosing people that can hold that complexity, that can hold those multifaceted parts of ourselves. Um, I don't need to feel I'm Americanizing myself to feel kind of like I'm fitting in. Who are the people or what kind of supports or resources do I have available that make me feel connected to all parts of myself as I try to get to know who I am, what parts of my identity, interests, traditions, morals, values still feel true to me, what's shifting. And really, this is a journey of self-exploration at the end of the day. Student services and resources at the GC. So there's the international student services that goes beyond the visa paperwork that we need. And so you can reach out to them with any questions that you have about things that maybe are going on here. The DGSC, and that can include academic and social support, advocacy, and funding. You can use lounges, apply for grants for student events, receive funding for your programs. Um, and so you can also participate in policymaking processes by contacting your representatives. There's the Wellness Center. You get individual therapy, group therapy, and couples therapy. Um, there are workshops that are happening throughout the year that you could attend. Some of them are online, some of them are in person, and some of them are through videos like the one that you're watching now. Um, Student health insurance, if you need insurance, you want to change insurance, you have any questions, you have access to that. And you can access them through the links that are here below. The Writing Center, trouble writing a paper, trouble starting with a paper, want to proofread, you want someone to proofread, presentation help, anything that's going on academically. You can also book your sessions online, and then you can have in-person sessions or over Zoom. Career planning and professional development, student disability services, technology services, and the GC Food Pantry all are made available to you. The student disability services, this could be physical, educational, learning disability, extra time, wheelchair access, anything that you need support with, please reach out to them. The GC Food Pantry, this is you get access to free canned food, typically canned food, but there are different food sources that you can that are just made available to you for free, especially when things get tough, or you just want access to, you want to save money, right? So these resources are made available to you. I hope that this workshop was helpful. These are the links below. I think that you can copy paste, and you'll see all the resources available on the GC website. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Maybe we can try to address them in the next workshop. I really hope this was helpful. And just most importantly, that this is a journey that each of us is on that doesn't look the same. And so knowing that it's not like a linear trajectory, that we can go through the honeymoon phase a million times and the culture shock several times, depending on the phase that we are in life and what we're going through. So just remembering to be compassionate with yourselves, patient, and seeking out the support systems that you have wherever they are, and helping you feel grounded here. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Best of luck and take care.